participants joining right now, so it's 1 minute to 2. So let's give a bit of a buffer. A technical information for all the participants that who are already online. Please mute your microphones. Call, you can take them. And then if you would like, of course, to ask questions, please free to unmute and ask all the questions you would like to. We are having already 20 participants online, waiting for few more that who are joining right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Seems to be an echo on your side, Paolo.
Not really.
No, now it's fine. Maybe it was just before. Sounds good now.
I think another minute. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I see that more and more colleagues are attending. We are now 26. Well, a great success, I have to say. 27 right now, with probably another 10 to join in 1 minute or so. Again, another minute of patience, and then we will go through the presentation. The presentation is very similar to the one we used for WCN'21, for those of you familiar with the virtual platform we used for WCN'21. But even for the new ones, it will be quite easy and customer friendly. We will make sure to provide you all the elements as well as the assistance through the team and together with our platform provider. This is for sure something that we will make sure to help you with. So it's 3 minutes that we could slowly start, so that maybe a few more participants will join the webinar in the meantime. By the way, the webinar is recorded, so that anybody who is missing it or who joined later or would like to listen to it carefully afterwards and ask us other questions offline, you will be receiving the link to it, so that you can take advantage of the recording of this session. Now we are 30 in the meeting, so I would like again to welcome all of you to this Operational Industry Symposium webinar for the World Congress on Nephrology 2022. I'll just share my screen with the presentation. I assume that everybody is able to see the screen and the full presentation as it is built.
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Again, please mute your microphones, and of course you are free to ask questions at any time if you would like to, or even, let's say, use the chat and asking asking the questions, and we will be able to pick up the questions. There is a few people of the team, and we can pick up the questions at any time as you wish. We have 60 minutes, so it should be we should have enough time for replying to all the questions live and also offline if some questions may come up on a later stage. So again, welcome, and I would like to introduce you to your main contact at ISN. Michael is our events director. He will join us in a few minutes. He's busy with another concurrent call, so he will probably pop up in the next few minutes or so. I think that you know already Alex, who is dealing with you for the business development operational matters, and she is the one to follow all your practical, let's say, activities or daily activities regarding, in general, the business development. And Charlie, of course, is your main contact when it comes to business development and the participation of the sponsors to our conference as well as to ISN activities. You see also that Cover, and I will introduce you afterwards to Paul, and Cover is our platform provider, and they will take care of all the virtual activities and all platform activities and features. My name is Paolo, and I will be your main contact when it comes to industry symposia, helping Alex and Charlie in delivering all the features and activities we have agreed for the industry symposia. A very brief introduction to the Congress chairs and hosts. You will see here our Congress chair, Professor Agnes Fogo, as well as the local organizing working group, Professor Bakleong, Alinga For, and Masaomi Nanganku, and the scientific program. I'm saying this because local organizing working group as well as the scientific program working group chairs are the ones to review, suggest, and let's say confirm the programs you have submitted or that you are submitting, that you are updating for the conference. This Congress is organized by ISN together with APSN, Asian Pacific Society of Nephrology, and of course the Malaysian Society of Nephrology as local and regional hosts. A very quick overview on the Congress program. Everything that is available is online. The program is online, especially for the main program. You see that the Congress starts on the 21st of February with pre-Congress activities and ends on February the 27th, which is almost a week. The pre-Congress part is composed by Raising the Curtain sessions on February the 21st and the 22nd, followed by the ISN Global Kidney Policy Forum on the 23rd. These 3 days are open access, so available for everybody to join. The open access registration is very easy and straightforward. On the contrary, the pre-Congress courses on February 24th is subject to a fee. So delegates, virtual delegates should register separately for this and pay the relevant fee. No matter on the 21st to the 24th, and also for the main program, all the content is available on demand. For the Congress program on the 25th and the 27th, we will feature the exhibition, the virtual program runs from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. Malaysian time, which is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. CET, as well as the in-person program that we are planning to do at the KLCC from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Malaysian time, which is a bit late during the night in Europe, but nevertheless, the content will be made available on demand shortly after the live viewing. So you can, of course, view the content at any time and also take advantage of the daily highlight sessions. The platform will remain open until March the 31st. Let's go to the industry symposia and how these are meant to be organized. The virtual symposia are a 60-minute session, including a Q&A. And you have a series of services and features that we will go through them one by one to make sure that we are aligned on what it is included and how to take advantage of the single activities. These are the industry symposia slots. You see here that I have included both the virtual, that is the main topic of this webinar, and the in-person at the KLCC. For the virtual symposia, we have a slot 1, which is in the morning European time, equal to 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Malaysian time, for and the 27th, whilst the slot 2, which is an afternoon slot CET time, is available for the 25th and for the 26th. For you to know, there is also an add-on program, an in-person program that we are developing at the KLCC that is providing a morning slot for the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th, as well as an afternoon slot. In this case, the live program is taking place at the KLCC 9 to 10 Malaysian time in the morning, and from noon to 1 p.m. Malaysian time at the KLCC. Going back to the virtual symposia, just to make sure that we are all aligned, and I've seen this coming through the program you have sent, the slot is long, and the structure, the approved structure, is 45 minutes of pre-recorded presentation, followed by 50 minutes of live Q&A. It goes without saying that we are quite flexible on the distribution of the time within the 60 minutes. After the 60 minutes, the broadcast will end. There is an opportunity, and please refer and liaise to Charlie about this if you would like extended breakout session of an additional 30 minutes. This breakout session is available for the platinum sponsors if you have, let's say, achieved this level of sponsorship. Just to make sure that we know the sessions, how long they are available, they are broadcasted during the Congress days as per slot assigned, and more or less immediately available on demand. Usually it's a time of some few hours. Until March the 31st, these content are available on demand on the virtual platform, and then for 1 year long, they are available on ISN Academy. Just to make sure we are aligned on this, please note that if you would like us to remove the content from, let's say, the ISN Academy, or if you would like to be broadcasted or available on demand only for some periods or in the virtual platform, just let us know. You have seen that the program built is 45 minutes of pre-recorded and then 15 minutes of Q&A. There is a platform where you need to go and upload all the presentation. This platform has been provided by us in due time. If you have any difficulties, let us know. We will be able to help you. We are updating all the program, and we are checking with the scientific program working group and the local organizing working group if this is accepted, if they have any advice or comments, and for us to share. Please also consider that the program should include and comply with our with the ISN position statement on the gender, ethnicity, and cultural perspective, which is very much important since the Congress is a very global educational opportunity. Please also note that from a technical point of view, all the sessions will be subtitled. If you do not want the subtitles to be included in the live presentation as well as in the on-demand content, please let us know. Per default, they will be subtitled. Let's start with the included features. Social media posts. You have one social media post included in the package per default. The first deadline is February the 10th. Your main contact is Alex. You see her contact details here. In this communication, please include the your preferred time dates or your slot, the chosen social media, and the content of the push notification. There are some elements below that are technical elements that you may like to consider as well. Program ebook is a new feature compared to WCN 2021. These are the opportunity that you can consider, of course, the specifications of the advert that you need to produce for us to incorporate in this online tool. And the deadline to submit is January the 21st. Your main contact is, again, Alex. If you go into the portal and if you click here to the example layout, you see some mock-up drafts and elements that may help you in building the your artwork to be provided to us. Please note that in general, the access to the educational content is for healthcare professional, and this is important for the all of us to know. And the let's say customization we have available, which are the banner above the video. You see here that these are the specs. So when the program is broadcasted live as well as on demand, on top of the video, there will be a banner that you can provide to us based on the specifications above, as well as the ads that are in the waiting room. So delegates, virtual delegates attending to join the session, they will see on the waiting room a banner on the right and a banner on the left. They can be different through the session configurator. There is also the possibility of having pollings through Slido. In a few seconds, I will pass on to Paul to give you some technical explanations. And also very important here is that below the screen, the projection screen, the virtual platform screen, there is a possibility of adding up to 3 buttons. These buttons can go to PDF files, to a survey link, to a breakout rooms, to an evaluation form. This is really up to you, whether to use them or not use them at all. I will leave now the floor to Paul, if you are ready to jump on it.
Yes, I am. All right. So, Paolo, please let me know. We're going to cover a few different things. I have the session configurator ready, and I have Slido here, so I can briefly explain how Slido works and how you can configure it. I can also show some parts of the how the program works and where the waiting room and the virtual session room are, and so I assume we will start by the session configurator, and Paolo already alluded to it, that you can upload these banners for your session. I will share my screen and show you how the session configurator looks like, where you actually can upload your banner specifically for your session. Hold on a second while I share the screen. Hold on. Okay, and I will bring my browser in here. So what we're looking at is a page when when you log in to your area, you will have this configurator where you can upload the individual media for your session. You can upload your company logo, and you see in each of the media where you can upload something, the resolution that is expected is indicated there. So I've prepared a sample file with a company logo here. Hold on. So by simply selecting it on your computer and indicating here in the session, it will be available. That will populate your session page in the virtual platform. If you need to make a change later on, you can simply come back to this configurator at any time, hit clear, and it will be removed, and you can upload a new one. There's also an area where you can upload a flyer. Once again, the resolution is given here. And there is an area where you can indicate whom will be your Slido moderators. That can be more than one person. You might want to divide the roles a little bit in Slido. And in order for you to understand that, I'll briefly give a synopsis of what Slido is used for. We use it for two parts, and it's up to you to know whether you want to integrate that in your session or not. Slido is the main tool that we use to collect questions from the audience. In the virtual meeting room environment, the audience cannot ask questions directly. People cannot turn on their microphone. They will not be in a web meeting as we are, but they are watching a live stream. But we have a panel where they can type in questions, and that is powered by Slido. Those questions, you can either leave those unmoderated, so that means that if somebody types in a question, it will automatically appear. But you can also use Slido in a moderated way. If you turn on moderation and somebody types in a question, you will have an opportunity to accept that question, and only after it's been accepted, it will then be visible in the platform, and it will be visible for all other participants. And of course, the chair who will be monitoring and who will be managing the Q&A for the live Q&A part, where you're going to be answering those questions in the program, the chair can look at those questions there too. If you want to have that moderation, you will have to turn that on, and you can let us know which person in your organization needs to have access to that by putting in these Slido moderators here. So simply, if I want to add one, I'll add myself in this case, or I just put in first and last name and my email address, and I indicate that, and that will be listed here. So you always have an overview of who those people are. In the background, that is going to our systems, and we will then, when we send out the access profiles for Slido, in this case, for your Slido session, these two people will receive the Slido information and will have access to your Slido control panel. So you will have an individual control for your company to the Slido features for your specific session. And we'll get to a short demo of Slido, what you can do with that as we move on. So you can have up to 3 people. I mentioned you can divide the roles a little bit. One of the roles could be the person who is managing those questions and who is allowing them to go through. By the way, the reason why other participants can also see it is for a couple of different things. It's to avoid repetitive questions. When somebody has asked a question on a specific subject, other people who are interested in that too, they can simply indicate that they like that question, and automatically the questions with the most likes will float to the top. So it will prevent that the same question is asked over and over again, but it will also allow the chair and or other people who need to monitor that to see what the most popular questions are, and to then make decisions in which ones of those questions that you will handle in the live Q&A part. By the way, also as a moderator, you can, in the Slido app, for any questions that you're not going to be handling in the live Q&A, you can formulate an answer in there, and that will also be visible in the Slido tool. Another part is the waiting room. Before people actually end up in the live program of your session, when it has not yet started, there is this room that looks like a theater, and Paolo already showed that there are 2 banner areas. Once again, here is where you can upload those banners, and we've made samples in here. Once you've uploaded it, you can also do a quick preview on what it looks like in your browser. That's what will be loaded in our system. The banner above the video that's in the virtual meeting room, there's a banner on the top usually that will have your logo and some information about the title of the session. I'm going to clear this just for a quick demo. You see here that we're expecting a banner of 1200 by 110 pixels. I've prepared one which has the wrong dimensions, just so that you see that the site will help you. If I take one here, which I call banner with wrong dimensions, and I try to upload that, you will get an error message. So it will help you, the tool will help you to make sure that your media serves the right purpose and has the right technical specifications. So simply, if I now collect the correct one, then it will be uploaded and this will work. Last thing is, in your virtual meeting room, you have a possibility of showing buttons, and those buttons can lead to a survey that you want people to take after your session, or a PDF with additional information. And you can see here that you can configure those buttons. If we want to add another one with contact info, for instance, this could be that you call this button contact info, and it can be a URL on your website. So if I just type our website here, and that button will, if I type it correctly, that should be a period here, that button will lead, and I need to add the HTTP. So it has some validation on making sure that it's there. See, now we added a third button. So you can add up to 3 buttons in your virtual session room. When you're done with the form, you have to save it, and then everything that you've added in this session will be available. That's regarding the session configurator. Another part that we wanted to cover was Slido, and this is not going to be a full course on how to manage Slido, but I will show you a couple, and most of you probably will know already a lot of features of Slido. I created one in our Slido account, which is called WCN Slido Test, and I have somewhere on my computer here a QR code, and if you want to if you have your phone nearby or something, an iPad or so, if you scan this QR code, you will actually be connected to this Slido session. This is exactly what we would show in the application also, and then you can ask questions. So right now, moderation is turned off. If somebody who logs in types in a question, that question will appear right away into the sessions. And that hashtag is, in this case, WCN tests. Oh, I need to type it correctly, of course. I don't do. That's the URL. And if I type in WCN test here, you will see the front end of the Slido for this particular session. So if somebody types in a question here, I'll do then. How are you? We are. And I hit send. My question will appear here, and as a moderator we already see that, and since it's unmoderated, we have moderation turned off, the question appears right away. A second part what you can use Slido for is to run polls. So if you want, during the Q&A part of your session, want a quick possibility to collect some information, some opinions of people, I've prepared a poll here. What's your favorite color? Just by launching it here in our application, the right part here will appear in the virtual meeting room, and people will be in the possibility to indicate. And we see we have one person who's already voted. I'm going to vote here for red, and you will see that we have those 2 answers coming in now. So those of you in your companies who will need to be the Slido moderators, if in the session configuration tool you fill in that information, those people will be receiving the access codes to configure these Slido polls or to monitor the questions. Paulo, I believe that was the main thing that we wanted to cover. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now.
Thank you, and I will then go ahead. We are now here, pre-recordings. You know that we talked about the program structure, which is let's say, basically composed of 45 minutes of pre-recorded sessions and 15 minutes of live Q&A. Pre-recorded sessions can be provided using our platform. We will then provide you all the elements for your speakers to upload their presentation, their pictures and bio through our system, which is quite intuitive. Most of them are also part of the program faculty and therefore familiar with the system. Or if you prefer to pre-record everything on your own, then you could do it. You need to provide the full MP4 file by February the 2nd to Alex. The file should be, as mentioned, an MP4 format in full HD resolution with all the presentation combined. We will go through it through the pre-record analyzed, and all presentations are on the system, and therefore we can send all the communications to the speakers. Please note, and this is important, that you can also join the pre-recording sessions, but you need to make aware that your faculty, your speakers, to forward you the invitation to join the pre-recording session, which is a 1 hour slot with a dedicated technician who is following step by step the speakers to provide her talk. This is very well managed by Cover technical team, and I'm sure your speakers will not have any issue in going through this. Live Q&A. Talked about by Paul, so I just leave it here. Again, moderated versus not moderated, so it's up to you how to organize this. And the same applies for polling. Polling is an option through Slido. It's not mandatory. It's up to you on the format you have decided for your learning objectives, how and if to include polling. Rehearsal slot. Please note that the live session, so during the assigned slot for each virtual symposia, all the speakers are highly recommended to join the session slot 15 minutes before it begins, so that they can liaise offline with the technician, making sure that they remember the session is managed, and especially when it comes to questions through Slido or when they will be prompt on a live Q&A Zoom mode. This is very important. Again, this is very strategic for all the faculty to be present at 15 minutes before the session. They will receive a link that will be sent again 24 hours before the session starts. We will make sure that everybody, also together with you, are online at that time in the assigned room. Should to book a specific rehearsal slot because you feel more comfortable in making a proper 1 hour rehearsal, there is the possibility of doing so, and there is also an assigned week for this activity. I'm trying to go in quick because we are almost at the end of the webinar, and I would like to leave a space for question and answer. These are the registrations, as mentioned before, and our registrations, the open access features. fourth is pre-Congress courses that have a separate Congress registration. But industry symposia are open access. So people can join this session without paying a fee. They can access this free of charge. They need to register very quickly on our system, and it's very intuitive. Then I thank you for this, and I can now stop the presentation and start taking your calls, meaning your questions. If there are any questions that you would like to ask live and to share with all the audience. Again, here we have Charlie, it's me, there is Paul, there is Alex, that we will be able to take any question you would like to ask us. Please don't be shy, ask questions, if any at all. But again, if you don't have any question right now, it doesn't mean that you will not be able to ask question afterwards, but maybe throwing questions to the audience might be helpful for everybody to get familiar with the industries, with the virtual industry symposia. A question for Aaron. Yes, I will send you the recording of the link to the recording so that you can also have the PowerPoints or the slide deck, as well as, let's say, what we have said so far.
Yeah, it will also be posted on the manuals as well. We just need a day or two to process that and put that up there.
Paul, do you have any suggestions for the companies to consider while, let's say, preparing for the symposia?
Wide open suggestions or anything specific? Because I must say I missed a little bit of what Charlie was saying. The sound connection dropped on my PC for a second.
I was just talking, I just said the manuals will be, the video will be posted to the manuals, the recording.
Okay, no, I don't have any, I'm willing to answer any questions, but I don't have any general recommendations. I think there's a lot of information in all the materials that have been prepared. And if you follow those, I'm relatively confident that nothing will be missed. If people have questions along the way, feel free to ask them and we will help you as soon as possible.
There is a question here on the chat from Daniel, and actually, any reason you suggest 45 minutes lecture and 50 minutes Q&A? Well, this is a parameter we have provided, and some industry symposia are aligned with this when it comes to the program build. Some other are slightly different, some minutes more, some minutes less, but nevertheless, the program will last 60 minutes. But again, it really depends on your learning objectives and how you would like to configure your symposium program. This is the ISN suggestions, of course, and we are not checking the minutes. What we are checking, of course, is the 60 minutes, because we need to make sure that the sessions are lasting as scheduled. Are the Q&A a live video format or a chat box? Well, this has been, they are on the chat box, and they can be visible if they are public or moderated and then made it public. And there are two ways: keep on the chat, as well as asked from the chair or the moderator to the speakers. So basically, there will be a list of questions. Some of them will be picked up and some other may be left on the chat box. Are you okay to use any service software? Yeah, Paul, if you would like to reply to this, but I think...
Yes. Yeah, you can format your survey in the way that you want. The button that you can configure through the session configurator will just initiate a link that opens in a separate window. So that separate window needs to be a page that you have configured. And if you use any standard survey configurator, or if you want to put a PDF there that people need to print off and mail in, it will take anything. So our application is not going to deal with that at all. It's basically an offsite link, and you manage fully what you have on there.
Am I right in saying that this could be part of the 3 buttons below the video, and then you can have an evaluation form, a PDF, or
Exactly.
something else? That is
Yes.
all your full responsibility, also to address people to go to that specific button to, let's say, complete the evaluation form or whatever you think it's useful for your learning objectives.
Yeah. What's good to
Going-
know, Paolo, if I
Sorry.
may add to that, those buttons remain visible. So if during your session you ask people and you recommend them, please click the button below to take the survey and let us know what you found of the session or whatever. If people do not have the time to do that immediately, you can also tell them that they can come back, and those buttons will, your virtual meeting room will remain available. Your on-demand version of your symposium will be there, and the button will remain available also.
So also from the on-demand content, those buttons are fully available for delegates to join these specific activities and features you would like to provide to them. A question coming from Sunil, will there be a separate registration link for the open access of Symposia? Yes, of course, we can provide this, and you can promote it as you like. Please note that this registration should be completed. It doesn't require a payment. It will provide the access to the industry symposia only. If we want to put Slido question during lecture, is it available option? Slido is always available. Paul, please correct me if I'm mistaken. So Slido is available in the virtual room, and therefore, once you open Slido, Slido will take all the questions, and then up to you whether these questions are public or moderated.
That's correct. The virtual meeting room features 2 big components, if you will. One is the live stream area, where the presentation is shown and where the live Q&A is shown by our technician. And another part is the Q&A panel. And that Q&A panel for Slido will either show the interface to ask questions, and people will also see those questions there. And at the moment when a live poll is launched, it will switch to the poll mode, and then the Q&A panel will show the poll that is actively running. Once again, there also, when people have not yet voted, it will show them the options to vote. As soon as they have voted, they will see the results in there. But that remains open at all time. There's even a possibility to make a small announcement in Slido. Once you get your access for your Slido session, after you've submitted who will be your Slido administrators, you can go in, and there is a message broadcast feature there that you can use, and that will indicate a small message that you can put above the Slido panel with an announcement.
Thank you, Paul. A question from Amy. Will the flyer uploaded to the platform be blast emailed to all Congress registrants? This is a no as a question, as a reply, because basically, if you are referring to these 3 buttons below the video, this will be uploaded only on the virtual platform during the live and on-demand version of it. And when it comes to the deadline, please refer to the industry portal for uploading these 3 buttons. The deadline is mentioned there. Then a question from Johnny Plum. Is there an opportunity to advertise to live attendee printed banners, flyers? I would like to leave this question to Charlie. It's your cup of tea.
Hello. Yeah, I'm not sure from which company you're organizing the symposia with, Johnny, but there is definitely opportunities. For example, included already in the package when you book a symposia is the social media post, which Paolo had spoken about. So you'll need to let us know which social media platform that you want us to post on and provide the image and the text that goes with that. And then in addition, there's a number of different ways that we can reach the live audiences. When you say live, I think a good example is the push notification. These are sent out. So as you have the push notification on your phone, it pops up on the side of the Congress platform, and you can include a link or an image. So for example, you could schedule that a few moments before your symposia starts and link it to your session. Also with the push notifications, when they are sent out, they show up for the live delegates, so everybody logged in at that time, but they also then show for delegates that aren't logged in, they go to their message box, so to make sure that your message is seen by everybody. If you let me know your email maybe, or shoot me an email, then I can share a few more examples with you. On the Industry Symposia manual, there's a section, I think, called advertising or promotion, and it also lists there a couple of different ways.
And there is also another question for you, Charlie, just to make sure that we provide a very straightforward reply regarding the social media posts with a video for LinkedIn.
Yes, we can. I haven't actually included that option to have the video in the social media post, but it's possible. It's possible.
I see that the questions part is quite animated. We have another 8 minutes to go. Please do feel free to ask more questions. We are here to take all the questions you may have. But again, please feel free to ask even questions or clarifications afterwards with Charlie, Alex, and myself. We will be more than happy to assist you in the next weeks and months towards the Congress. I see that there are no more questions. There are 2 points. We have been very clear and straightforward with you, or you are too shy to ask more questions? So I assume that so far so good, meaning that you are getting familiar with how the industry symposia will be organized from now on, and already in the past weeks when we started working together. So again, unless Charlie or Paul have anything else to add, I would like to thank you again for attending this webinar. We will send you the link to the webinar, as well as it will be uploaded in our portal for you to see and share with your team and ask more questions. So, any very last minute question? I think that more or less we are set. And again, thank you for attending this webinar. And on behalf of ISN, thank you for attending WCN 2022. We are very looking forward to working with you now and in the future. And have a great afternoon. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.